If you ask me, no team has been more aggressive this offseason than the Minnesota Vikings. They have made some of the best moves in free agency, improving the interior of their offensive line and defensive line. I absolutely love the trade for Jordan Mason. I know it's the offseason, but the Vikings look like they could be legitimate Super Bowl contenders next year. In a really good conference, what moves can Minnesota make to get over the hump and improve this roster? That's what we're going to be attempting to do today, as this is a Minnesota Vikings 7-round mock draft. Full transparency with you guys, this team has such few weaknesses that they're really difficult to draft for. But I've got a strategy going in, and I'm excited to see how it pays off. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, comment down below what you guys would do if you were the Minnesota Vikings. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page. I will leave that linked in the description below. It's $5 a month, and you guys will get full access to my in-depth draft guide and big board. There's over 500 prospects on the board, and we're still studying a few guys here before the draft. So if you guys do enjoy my NFL draft content, it's an easy way to support the channel. Comment down below what you guys think of the draft. Let's go ahead and kick this off with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, and we're going to get this started with a trade. We only have 4 picks in this draft class, and I can't afford to only make 4 selections in this draft. So the Raiders want to move into the first round. They're willing to give 37 and 68 in this deal, and I'm going to make this trade. We get an extra 3rd round pick in the deal, and we move back 13 spots. Maybe they could throw in a future 3rd or 4th somewhere in this deal. But with where we're at right now, I think this is a very fair trade. We're going to move back 13 spots with the Raiders. So we're on the board here at number 37, and I am going to go with a cornerback here. The Vikings have done a pretty good job of adding some smaller pieces to the secondary, but I do think they can look to improve here. They went out and were really aggressive. They got Isaiah Rodgers, they brought in Jeff Okudah. And while I like those players, I don't know if they're number 1 corners. Mekhi Blackmon has struggled with injuries. He should be healthy for next season, but the board could not have fallen any better for us, as Savon Ravel, Maxwell Hairston, Trey Amos, Azareye'h Thomas, and Darian Porter are all on the board for us. So we kind of get our pick on which corner we like the best. For me, the top corner available is East Carolina cornerback Savon Ravel. He is a big physical corner who was just an athletic specimen. Coming from a smaller school, unfortunately, he is coming off an ACL tear, which I think could scare the Vikings away, considering they're dealing with their own injury problems in the secondary, as Mekhi Blackmon just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Maxwell Hairston is a guy that is getting a lot of pre-draft buzz. I don't know how well he would fit in the scheme, but he's an incredibly athletic corner with a 4.28 speed. I don't think he plays that fast, unfortunately. And then you've got Trey Amos and Azareye'h Thomas, 2 guys that I think have really good ball skills. Azareye'h Thomas is young, still trying to find his place in this league. And Trey Amos is a little bit more experienced, seemed to be in every single pile. His ball skills are phenomenal. I don't really think you can go wrong here, but I'm going to bet on the upside of Savon Ravel. I know the injury history is a concern, but if it wasn't for the injury, I firmly believe he would be a top 15 pick in this class. He is a very good tackler from the position. His ball skills are phenomenal. He's great in zone coverage, can play in man-to-man, long arms with a near 80-inch wingspan, great in press. I mean, this guy can do a little bit of everything for you on the back end, and I think he gives you versatility. I'm a huge fan of him, and I don't think you need him to start right away. I'm taking Savon Ravel at pick 37. On the clock here at pick 68, there's some really good players on the board for us, but Andrew Mukuba out of Texas is the guy that I have my eye on. One of my favorite safeties in the entire draft class. And safety is a need for the Vikings. They lost Cam Bynum to the Indianapolis Colts in free agency. Harrison Smith is back, but you can't expect him to play forever. You're going to need some help long-term in the back end of this defense. And Andrew Mukuba, I think, can do everything that you want a safety to do. Ran a 4.45 at the combine, so he's really athletic. This is a guy that was everywhere for the Texas defense this past season. He is a little bit small at 5'11", 184, but phenomenal ball skills, great speed in the open field. His coverage ability and his ability to match up with running backs or tight ends, fantastic. He's super versatile, where they played him in the slot, they played him as a roaming free safety, they played him in the box. And this is a guy that can do really anything you want him to do on the defensive side of the football. He's a very good athlete, very good ball skills, and he's a good tackler as well. One of my favorite safeties in the entire draft class, and a player that I think Brian Flores would really like. You've got Josh Metellus there. I think Makuba can be that long-term safety option for this team. And at 68, I think you're getting really good value. So I'm going to take my guy Andrew Makuba here at pick 68. So we're on the clock here at 97, and I'm going to make another trade back. Carolina wants to move up, so we're going to give them pick 97, and in exchange, we are going to get pick 111 and 146 back. Just getting an extra draft pick in this draft class I think is going to be super helpful, so I'm going to make this move with Carolina. Here at pick 111 for the Minnesota Vikings, I am going to go with a running back. They were able to extend Aaron Jones to a 2-year, $20 million contract, and they made a really good trade for Jordan Mason, but I think adding a third player in that backfield could be extremely valuable because both of them have struggled with injuries from time to time, and DJ Giddens is a player on the board that I really, really like. He's 6 foot, 212 pounds, ran a 4.43 at the combine. He's a really athletic player that is incredibly shifty in the open field. Go back and watch his Colorado tape where he made Shiloh Sanders eat dirt multiple times in that game. He is so shifty. His jukes are phenomenal. Excellent footwork out of the backfield. And he also, I think, can bring you a little bit out of the receiving game. He had 20 receptions for 258 yards this past season, averaged 6.5 yards per carry. He is a hard runner that I think can give you some serious speed out of this backfield. Aaron Jones is a great all-around back. He's older. He's dealt with injuries. Jordan Mason's more of that power back. DJ Giddens, I think, gives them a speed element that they don't really have in that backfield right now. And at 111, I think this is a great spot to take him. So I'm going to make this pick for the Vikings here at 111. Here at pick 139, I'm going to go a little bit off the board here and take a linebacker. Brian Asamoah and Ivan Pace will be free agents next year, and I think they could look to improve in the linebacker department. And I really like Danny Stutzman as a fit. I know he's not the sexiest linebacker in the world, but he is just all reliable and does a little bit of everything. 6'3", 233 pounds. Really impressed me at the combine where he ran a 4.52 with a 1.55 split. He's a better athlete than I think people give him credit for. He's just a tackling machine, and he has been for Oklahoma for quite some time. He's quick, and he seems to be involved in every single tackling pile. He's a good coverage player. He does a good job at rotating his hips, staying with his guys, and he's a very reliable tackler. Can come downhill as a run defender. He's really good on screens. I love that about him. He does need to improve his block shedding, and he does struggle in one-on-one situations from time to time. But at 139, I think it's a great spot to go ahead and take a linebacker, considering you've got a couple of impending free agents next offseason that could be out the door. I think Stutzman is an undervalued player in this class, and at 139 would be great value. At pick 146, I'm going to go get a nose tackle. Harrison Phillips was a good run defender last year, didn't bring too much as a pass rusher, and I think they could go and add another piece to the defensive front. Like I said, this defense is absolutely stacked, but there has been some injury concerns with Jonathan Allen. He was banged up. Javon Hargrave's coming off a pretty serious injury. I think going out and getting J.J. Pegues out of Ole Miss would be really fun. He is your prototypical nose tackle. He plays great smash mouth football at 6'2", 323 pounds. He's a way better athlete than he gets credit for, so much so that he was playing fullback at times for Ole Miss this past season. He's a really fun athlete that could do a little bit of everything for you on the defensive side of the ball. Excellent run defender and a guy that is consistently in the backfield, but he's a really solid pass rusher as well. Had 31 pressures this past season with a 9.3% pass rush win rate. He had 22 run stops. He gets into the backfield. He wreaks havoc. He is a strong, sturdy run defender who's strong in his lower half. He's got a good bull rush, and he's a better athlete than I think he gets credit for. Some areas you'd like to see improvement on, I think his hands can be a little bit all over the place, and I'd like to see him improve his anchor. He could be pushed off of blocks really easily at times, but as a third or fourth defensive lineman on your team, I think you'd be feeling pretty good about what J.J. Pegues can give you. So he's going to be my pick at 146, and I love the way that Brian Flores would be able to utilize him in this defense. You thought this mock draft was going to be over, but Denver makes a trade offer. We're going to go get pick 197 and pick 208. Denver's going to move up 10 spots in this draft, and we're going to get an extra draft pick in the 6th round. Really like this offer for us. Just wanted to add one more pick in this class, and I think we got good value, so I'm going to make this move with the Broncos. Here at 197, I'm going to add a receiver to this team. I know you got Justin Jefferson. I know they were able to bring in Rondale Moore. Jalen Naylor played well for them down the stretch. He's got 1 year left on the deal. I don't think it hurts to have another weapon in this receiving room. And Chimere Dike is a player that I really, really like in this class. And at the back end of day 3 is 100% worth a draft pick. He is a my guy in this class at 6 foot, 192 pounds. Ran a 4.34, which impressed me because I didn't think he had that type of speed on tape. But he's a really fun prospect that has a great compact frame. He's got great versatility. He used a lot in motion, on screens, different plays like that. But he's physical at the catch point and a really good contested catch receiver. A guy that had a 70% contested catch rate and 7 contested catches this past season. He's got a good release package, has speed to win down the field. Didn't have a ton of production outside of really his entire career, to be completely honest with you. The production wasn't all there. He's a bit of an older draft prospect, and another thing you'd like to see improve. Felt like he ran a very simplistic route tree at times for Florida, but as a 3rd, 4th, maybe even a 5th receiver here, I think he could be a really fun option for you and a guy that you can use in so many ways. Can be a big slot, can play on the boundary because he is physical at the catch point. So I'm going to take him here at 197, and I think he's got a real chance of winning that wide receiver 3 spot. With our final pick here at 208, we are going to go with another player that I am a big fan of in this draft class, and that is going to be Cincinnati offensive tackle John Williams. Williams is a guy that he's ranked 290 on the board. He is a guy that I think could be a legitimate back end of day 2 talent. I think he's a really good offensive lineman that's not getting talked about the way that he should in this draft class because he's been really solid. Allowed just 8 pressures this past season for Cincinnati, only 1 sack, had an 86.3 pass blocking grade. He's a really solid overall athlete. I know it's not going to be reflected in his testing time. He ran a 5.17, had a 1.8 split, but he showed the ability to move in space. I think he gives you versatility to play tackle or guard. He's got great footwork. His anchor is really strong. His hand placement's great. He does tend to get beat inside. He can be a little bit heavy on his feet at times, but he's got good quickness to get himself back into the play. At 208, I think he's a great option because I think he can swing inside and play guard for you if you've got injuries, but I also think he can be a rotational tackle. You saw Christian Darrisaw get hurt last year. This team went out and traded for Cam Robinson. He won't be back this year, and they struggle to get depth on the offensive line. You can never have too many offensive linemen. I think John Williams is a legitimate guy that could be a long-term starter for this team. I'm a huge fan of his game. I'm taking him at pick 208. So there we have it, Vikings fans, my 7-round Minnesota Vikings mock draft. They were a team that they've just got a lot of really good roster pieces already. So we just tried to fill a couple of holes here and there. I think this draft turned out perfect. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think down in the comment section below? Do you like it? Do you not? Would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.